Bitcoin and Litecoin daily update. What's up, guys? Crypto Savvy here. I hope everybody's having a fabulous Thursday. We're going to take a look at the charts, starting out with Litecoin, then moving on to Bitcoin, and then we're going to look at my favorite chart and tell you why I believe we get at 46,000 by the end of the year, and that's the Bitcoin daily versus the gold weekly chart. And if you haven't seen it, definitely stick around to the end and check it out. Very interesting. Also, I want to remind you guys, we have a 100% free Discord group with a great community, great group of people in there. Very helpful, whether you've been in crypto for a long time or you're new. Great community, guys, friendly community. All you got to do is click the description below the video. Some links will pop up down there. Look for the Discord link. There's also some affiliate links in there, guys, that really help the channel out if you guys use them. The two newest ones are the KRAKEN Exchange and Crypto Watch. Crypto Watch is a platform owned by KRAKEN that you can link your other exchanges to and have everything on one platform. There's also a lot of good tools in there. Great alert system. Check it out. Let's get into the video. All right, guys, as always, I want to start out by saying I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is my opinion and my view of the market only. Anybody that's doing any trading or investing in this market, I suggest you do your own due diligence and your own research, as this market is extremely volatile and risky. Also, keep in mind, this is still a speculative market. Don't put in more than you're willing to lose. With that being said, if you're new here, you haven't already, and you like these daily updates and live streams, definitely click the subscribe button in the lower right hand side of the screen. That'll get you subscribed to the channel. And then if you tick the little notification bell, it'll notify you as soon as I post videos, as I do post every day, and I do live streams a couple times a week, so you won't miss out on it. Also, guys, smash those likes, leave your comments. I love reading your guys' comments. I do read them all, and I like to see your view on the market. So yeah, definitely leave your comments, smash the likes, and let's get into the video. All right, so Litecoin on the weekly. This is probably going to be a quick run through. Not a whole lot happening right now in the big picture, but looking at the price action, where you're having higher lows in the price, lower lows in the RSI, that's hidden bullish divergence, guys. So I'm definitely still bullish here, especially mid and long term. Short term, we could have a little movement down, but nothing to be worried about, in my opinion. Let's look at the daily chart, and we'll take a look at my bigger bullish targets, and then we'll go into the RSI on the daily and then into the 4 hour. So I've been watching this as a cup and a handle forming. I still believe we are forming a handle here, but obviously until we get verification, we can't call it that. Definitely, but looking at the neckline around 146, if we were to break up above that 146, we're looking at about the $271 range as the target of the cup and handle. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of, it's not going to go straight up, guys, but that's just a big target. We'll look into the more immediate price action here in a minute. Let's go into the daily RSI. Now, we had been watching this rising channel since back here in December, and we broke out of it into a falling channel. And the most recent breakout was right here. We had been watching this as a falling broadening wedge that we've broken out of. The measured move out of a falling broadening wedge would be measuring the width of where it broke out and then put it up to the top. I do look for us to get up and probably test the bottom of this channel again, at least. If we do get back in it, great. We should get support on the bottom and get some more motion up. But let's take a look at the 4 hour. If you guys watched my video yesterday in the morning, I had said we're probably going to come up and test the top of this falling channel. And this falling channel we've been watching since April. So we did break out, we got up here, and I've explained to you guys before, this stuff helps us find the tops, and it did pretty well on marking this top in the 4 hour with the price action. Get in here. As you can see, we had all these wicks up here, which showed us that we were probably going to get some rejection there, which we did. The question is, do we come all the way back down and retest this, or do we form, and this isn't going to be exact, guys, but kind of something I'm going to be looking for here is another falling channel or something of that nature, and letting the RSI reset before another push up. But yeah, let's look into the price action. We're going to take a look at the bearish case scenario, and then we're going to take a look at the bullish case scenario. So, all right, on the bearish case scenario, we have broken out of this rising channel, and we've came back in, and we're getting support off the EMAs here. I do want to point out that these EMAs, my 8, my 13, and my 21 have crossed the 55. That's bullish, guys. Could it be a fake out and we turn back down? Yes, but keep an eye on these, especially in the 4-hour. It does still look bullish, in my opinion. We could have another drop down here. We talked about that in a live stream yesterday. And just to get an idea, we'll do a measured move off this. We could be looking at going back down into the $92 range. I'm going to put a price target in there to watch, and we'll kind of keep an eye on it. But also, I would expect to see this 55 EMA, which is around the $93 range, to probably hold as support. But we'll see what happens there. That's not to say we have to go down, guys. We could continue up from here, get back on the top of this channel, and continue up to our target of 106 or 103. And that target is just the measured move of the smaller falling channel in here that we've broken out of. And we would put this up to where we broke out, and that gets us up to about the 103 to 104 range. I'm still looking for that target. And if we do get up to that target and we get support on this white trend line here, I am looking at a target of around the 128 range, and that's the measured move of the bigger falling channel here. So the bearish case scenario, though, guys, is this 9200 doesn't hold, and we'd be looking at coming down to the 8100 range, which would be this blue trend line here, which is a long-term trend line. And if that $81 range, if that doesn't hold, guys, then we're looking at around $76 range, which would be this bottom right here. That's the break. Absolute worst case scenario, guys, is a $62 range, and that would line up with this old resistance right here, become new support. But again, I don't see that happening. I'm looking at the more bullish scenario. Like I said, I look for the $92 to $93 range on this pullback, and if that breaks, then we're looking at the bearish case scenario. But I'm still looking at a move up to the 103 range for now, and then the 128 if that 103 does come. So anyways, let's go into Bitcoin real quick and take a look at that. Same thing. Higher lows in the price action, lower lows in the RSI on the weekly. That is hidden bullish divergence. Now we're going to look at the daily chart. And in the daily, you can see I have this 107 area as a target up in here. First of all, I want to point out this white, the thick white trend line here. I'm looking at this as a trend reversal pattern. And as you can see, where we crossed it right here was around the 65.50 range, which was old resistance back in here. And then when we broke through, that's where everybody thought we were going to get all the resistance, and we did not. So yeah, I believe this is most likely going to hold. If not, I do have this trend line off of these wicks down here that we've had forever, and we broke above right around the same area. That was more around the $6,700 range, which still lines up with all the resistance over here. So the worst case scenario, guys, I'm seeing is around the 82 to 8,300 range, and we'll take a look at that in a second. But I do believe this white trend line is going to hold here. Now we're going to look at our higher targets first. Doing a measured move off of this as a falling wedge or bull flag, however it forms here. If we look at the volume right here, you can see this volume is declining big time. There is going to be a break here pretty soon. Within the next week or two, I would imagine, maybe even sooner. We'll have to keep an eye on this volume, and I do believe this is going to break to the upside, guys. I could be wrong. I'll be the first to admit it if I was, but I do believe eventually we're going to break to the upside. And with the break of this top trend line, if we did a measured move, measuring this as a falling wedge would be measuring the width right here. And if we were to break out around that 11.7 area, my target's around the $16,000 range, which would also get us up to this trend line here, this long-term top trend line I've been using. It was off all the wicks down here, matched up perfect. That's what I'd be looking at there. And the next target would be looking at this as a bull flag, and that as this is a flagpole and this is a bull flag, and that would be around the $18,000 range. So I'm definitely looking at those higher targets. But let's go into the RSI real quick and see what's going on with that, and then we'll take a look at the bearish case scenario also. As you guys know, I've been watching this formation here. We're getting lower lows and we're getting higher lows in the price action. That's that hidden bullish divergence that you can see in the daily. We could come back down and test this. It is possible, less likely, but possible. And I do have this trend line, this pink one on top here, that has helped us call our tops in these three big moves. I do believe we're going to have another one, and that could be up to that, $1,600 to $1,800 range. We'll have to keep an eye on it. Let's go into, but yeah, as of now, guys, I think we're most likely in the daily chart going to continue on up. Worst case, we come back down here, and like I said, we'll take a look at that bearish case scenario here in a minute. All right, so looking at the 4-hour and the RSI, as you can see, we've been measuring all these little wedges and channels, and right now it looks like same thing as in Litecoin. It's no guarantee, guys, but we may form some kind of channel here and then pop back out of that and continue our move up, or a wedge or something. We just have to keep an eye on that. If you guys have been following the channel, these have been pretty accurate. So now let's take a look at the price action. We'll take a look at the bearish case first, as always, and then we'll take a look at the bullish case. So as of right now, you can see we are correcting from this move. I had this target here of 10,179 yesterday. It looks like we made it up to about 10,165, so we were pretty close on that. I do see us. All right, I'm going to show you guys real quick this measured move here. We had this measured move looking at this as a reversal diamond, and our measured move, that's how I got the measured move of the 10,179 range, which we almost hit. Now, what I want to point out is I've made this trend line here, I've extended it, which was the bottom right of the diamond. We could come back down and retest that. Whoops. That back on there. We could be, it's looking like it's going to be around, if you watched the live stream yesterday, I told you guys that I was looking around between the $98 and $9,900 range for the correction here. We could go a little bit lower. We could go down to the 97.50 area, which would be retesting the top of this falling channel. If we break through that, again, let's look at the bearish case scenario. I would be looking for support first off right around the 94.50 range, and if that was to break, 9,100 range would be that long-term trend change line I have right here. That would be around the 91.92. Now that, if that breaks, that line is invalidated, and then we go back to looking at this trend line here. Since that we've been watching since, I think we started watching that in February or March, maybe even January. But anyways, that would also line up with this falling trend line here, and it would be around the 82 8250 to 8300 range, somewhere in there, depending on how far we fell. But that's my worst case scenario, guys. Now let's take a look at the bullish case. All right, so I had this red trend line drawn in here, which we broke out of. I don't really care for that trend line. I'm actually going to get it off here. I do have this falling channel drawn in here in the white off of these wicks down here, and I just cloned it, put it up here. That's where we broke out here. That's why I do believe it's possible we come back down to the 97.80 range to 97.50 range to retest the top of it before continuing up. The measured move off of this white falling channel here to where we broke out is right around that 11,000 range. Then I do have this target up here, which uses this old rising channel along with our falling wedge, and that target's around the 11.7. That's what was in the thumbnail. So I'm definitely looking around this area for this move up, and then we have to see how it reacts there. That could be the end of that move, and we could come all the way back down, retest this trend change line, or all the way back down to this yellow line. Back in this area somewhere would be around the 8,500. So it's possible, you know, I know everybody wants to fill that gap. It's not necessary, guys. We do not have to fill the gap. I'm not saying we're not gonna, but I'm steering more towards that, that we won't. So, all right, let's look at the Bitcoin daily chart. So looking at the Bitcoin daily chart, this here is my target, guys, for the end of the year, around the $46,000 to $47,000 range. That could be being conservative, but I want you to take a good look at this pattern formed here. And I'm going to switch back and forth to the gold chart and just see the resemblance. And that's why I believe we're going to hit the 46,000 by the end of the year. As you can see, the similarities, I've drawn these two lines off of both peaks, a dotted line off the all-time high, then the yellow line, and we broke down when those crossed here, did our two touches on the bottom, broke through. And if you see, look at gold, same deal, two touches on the bottom, and then we broke through both these trend lines. And I also have this blue line drawn in here, which was old support in the bear market of gold, and we broke through that. Didn't give us a whole lot of resistance, and then we moved up to this one that I've drawn off of these supports here from the bear market, and we played around this white trend line for quite some time before we broke through and continued our huge move up. And yes, guys, we're gonna have corrections, but if you look here, I've done the same thing. Here's that blue support line from the bear market where we broke through and never really got much resistance, and now we're playing around this white trend line. Pretty much the same deal. A pattern's a pattern, guys. And I know we're looking at a weekly gold chart to a daily Bitcoin chart, but guys, we have the internet now. Everything's a lot faster, more sped up. Everybody's got easier access. There's all the social media, everything. I do believe that it is most likely that this pattern is going to play out, and we are going to hit 46,000 by the end of the year, in my opinion. Now let's take a look at the RSI. I do want to point out, I forgot to point this out earlier, the resemblance in this weekly RSI. Right here, let's see, you can see the resemblance in these two areas right here. You had the run up, down, hidden bullish divergence, and then boom. Run up, down, hidden bullish divergence, and boom, bull market. Now, let me get rid of that, and let's look at these trend lines that we've been watching this whole chart and these RSIs since January. So this is the 2013 bull market followed by the bear market. Two touches of resistance on this trend line before starting the next bull market. 2017 bull market followed by the bear market. Two touches of resistance before starting the next bull market. Look at the monthly RSI. These two arcs drawn here. This is 2013 bull market followed by the bear market. Each arrow represents a new low in the RSI before starting the next bull market. 2017 bull market followed by the bear market. Each arrow representing a new low in the RSI. We had 4 of them on both sides. The only difference here, guys, is this is going to be much stronger, much more parabolic, in my opinion. Of course, like I said, I could be wrong, but if you guys enjoyed the video, definitely subscribe by hitting the Crypto Savvy logo above my head so you will get my daily updates. Also, make sure you tick the notification bell to get you notified when I post videos so you don't miss out on anything. When I do live streams, I post my dailies. Sometimes they're at a little different times in the morning, but that'll get you notified right when I post them. So definitely don't forget to do that, guys. Smash the likes, leave your comments, let me know what you think. Like I said, I love reading your guys' comments and know what you think. I do read the comments, so definitely do that. And I will see you tomorrow.